Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Lumi plays, and today I'm going to be playing Zeus, the god of Olympia. I think that's his Dota 1 name? Yes, it is. So Zeus is one of my kind of favorite heroes to play in pub games because he's so good at taking kills. Sometimes, not because you want to, sometimes because you have to, because there's an ally leading away with low HP, and you're like, oh, well, I have done the Grad's Wrath, and then I'll just get the kill. Sometimes you could be a dick and just take kills, because you have a whole bunch of nukes that comes out in high burst damage. I also really like to play him because he's a very rune-dependent ganker. I love to gank early on, kind of take control of the game in terms of playing very aggressively. I'm generally a very aggressive player by nature. Well, sometimes I'm very aggressive when I'm not playing support. When I'm playing supports, I'm generally quite defensive. But this is a solo mid Zeus, and generally you win your lane mostly just about against anybody. There's some exceptions like Obsidian Destroyer that really easily destroys you. But as I'm walking in lane, let's quickly introduce my allies. Merlini, ironically, is not playing Zeus this game. He's going to be playing Timbersaw. Mr. Showstopper is going to be playing Elder Titan. And then we have Angel in the Night playing Leshrac, and Snafu playing Crystal Maiden. So one thing I did not notice is, well, you guys would notice on the minimap right now, is that Razor, who's on the enemy team, is going to be picking up a haste rune, and I'm going to be, well, you'll see what's going to be happening. But I really like Zeus. Right now I should have seen actually Razor just camping over there. I've not seen it. He's now hasting in. I'm not paying attention to the minimap, and there's a hasted diving living armor tank, and I think, to be honest, Crystal Maiden should have actually bitten the oh, I'm not sure why Crystal Maiden is going for the kill. I'm paying run, man, run, but honestly he's not going to be running away from the hasted Razor. So I was saving for the quick bottle. If you notice, I have Clarity and 2 GG branches. Immediately gave up first blood, so that's always a great way to start out a Lumi Let's Play on Zeus, but no big deal. 1 minute into the video, already feeding first blood, but that's somewhat to be expected. At least I didn't miss first blood this time, eh? Yeah, but Zeus, one of my favorite heroes to play in the mid lane because he just have a natural advantage against a lot of heroes. He's very easy to control the creep equilibrium because you could start Arc Lightning, let's say around 130 in, and then you push the creep equilibrium. You also get a lot of CSs, which is one of my biggest weakness is last hitting. So it's basically free CSs if I don't miss them. There you go. And then you also have decent rune control. Unfortunately, I think our bot ward got dewarded. Let's quickly check out on our inventories. No, Merlini hasn't placed the other river ward for me, so I'm basically playing blind. Also, top lane is getting a kill, so that's all good. So what you want to be doing as Zeus is basically get a ton of rune control. Not having a river ward really is annoying. But at the same time, you're going to have such an easy time using Arc Lightning to push and also to farm that the creep equilibrium should mostly be on the other side, and you should be okay. One thing that I do want to quote Merlini. Merlini did write a guide on Zeus, and this is like 4 or 5 years ago when he was playing, like, you know, Zeus in competitive games, which is you shouldn't really over-rely on Arc Lightning to farm and last hit, because if you're using Arc Lightning and you're not going to have a lot of mana to lane control with Lightning Bolt, and that's probably one of the best way to lane control. Not really to kind of kill, because generally against good players you're never really gonna kill with Lightning Bolt, but you do enough damage to actually force them back, and that's really all you can ask for with the Zeus. You force them back, make sure that they're not CSing that well, and then you just last it with your piss poor animation and try to get some CS. You can see that I was checking top rune, didn't find anything, so I know rune is on the bot lane. I'm not sure whether it has been taken. I am keeping a close eye on whether the supports are missing off the map. And when they're missing off the map, I imagine they're going to be taking the rune. This guy's playing fairly aggressively with his Slark, which is fine. So noticing on the heroes that we're playing against we're playing against a Treant and Slark, which by the way, they both picked it, and then a Razor, Spectre, and a Disruptor. I actually picked Zeus. And the reason I picked Zeus this game is I kind of want to see how he matches up against Treant Protector. Treant Protector, one of the most annoying heroes to ever do a gank against, excuse me, because it's just impossible to actually get any kills with. Also in this game, our pushing is not that strong as a team. So we have Leshrac, that's a decent pusher, but aside from that, we really don't have any other really good pushers. And as a result, you'll see throughout the mid game that we're gonna have a very tough time pushing against living armor, which some of the most annoying spell comp they have on their team. So yeah, I'm actually, this is a kind of a research slash learning I'm not sure why. Buyback immediately to living armor. I think so. But yeah, this is a little bit of research to see how powerful a living armor is against, for example, Zeus or any kind of really burst nukers. I imagine Treant is going to be a very good matchup against burst nukers, especially because it blocks, I think, 80 damage at the max level. So that's a lot of my nuke damage. I do believe it blocks before damage reduction. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. So he should, in theory, be very, very good against Zeus. But again, this is a learning / research, and that's I straight up pick Zeus against Treant. But at the same time, Zeus is also fairly good against some of the other heroes, such as Slark, having a way to reveal him when he's Shadow Dance, for example, or against Disruptor. It looks like Slark in this rune up, trying to set up a gank up on the top lane. He has been missing a long time. I also get Lightning God's Wrath. One thing I do pretty like Lightning God's Wrath is animation, is that you saw that I used W and then I canceled it. So basically having that sound, I allow my allies to know that, hey guys, I do have Lightning God's Wrath. I believe I called miss on that one, and then as a result, or despite of that, I guess, still got ganked. So yeah, I'm basically looking to use Lightning God's Wrath to set up ganks whenever possible. Basically, I could use Lightning God's Wrath and get a couple of KSs. And using Lightning God's Wrath to KS is not really that big of a deal. It used to be a really, really big deal because your cooldown so long that if you use it to KS, you're not going to have it for any other engagement, and it's kind of a detriment to KS and your team not get the kill, and then you won't have Lightning God's Wrath to get the kills yourself. Now the cooldown's so low that you can actually use it to KS, but it's still a very douche move. You should never really use Lightning God's Wrath to KS, unless, let's say, if you're very close to your next time, for example. Let's say if you're like 200 gold to a Blink Dagger, then by all means use it to KS. I don't think KS is actually a bad thing. I just think that you should not do it. Well, okay, I have to say it very, very carefully. KS is an okay thing in the game, but you shouldn't KS without any reason to do so. Let's say if you're very close to a big game item, then by all means KS. I use Wrath of God to do all the damage to allow my allies to get them very, very low. That's one kill. The second kill is going to be coming very soon. I'm also walking my way down here. Unfortunately, Zeus is not exactly the best power diver. I should be sending my LuminousInverse to let them tank. I have no idea where they are. This is also where delaying the Wrath of God is very good, because it's actually a good scouting mechanism. I see the Disruptor very low, and unfortunately I get jumped on. I'm microing my Illusions in to get that kill. Come on, Illusions, go, 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 go. Illusions is gonna get one kill before dying, so that's pretty lowsy. Merlini is just so low in terms of HP, but he's going man mode. Uh-oh, he sees Treant's low, he's gonna go for the Treant kill. Unfortunately, living armor is so freaking good. The trading hits here, double kill nicely being picked up. Nice Timber Chain survives with like 10, 20 HP. Survived with 20 HP or something like that, and well, he got like 3 kills in that exchange on the bot lane, despite being a long lane Timbersaw. Got a ton of kill. This is the thing that I found a little bit strange about his skill build. He actually did not have any points of Rolling Death. Rolling Death really early on is insane in terms of damage output, but he has max Timber Chain in terms of giving him a ton of cooldown. Actually, it's cooldown all the same levels. It gives him a lot more cast range and then damage output. And more importantly, reactive armor is really good in solo lane. I'm surprised completely that he did not get a reactive armor, or sorry, Rolling Death. Generally, my build when I go Timber Chain on or Timbersaw on the long lane is go Timber Chain 1, and then 2-3 get reactive armor, and then get Rolling Death at 4-5, and then ultimate at 6. And my reasoning for that is that Merlini might be dead here. Well, my reasoning for that is that if you don't get away with one Timber Chain, you're probably dead anyways, but he just showed that you could use the long range of Timber Chain to actually go in and out of the team fight and get a ton of kills. Am I paying attention here? I'm still paying attention here. I have Wrath of God up, and I'm basically making sure that my ally could get the kill. Well, I just KS'd her. I think Merlini was going to get the kill regardless, but there we go. Zeus coming up, cleaning up duty here, getting a double kill. I think we're still diving. You can say Merlini's diving very aggressively. He can do that because he has reactive armor. It's actually one of the most insane way to kind of dive and not die. I know Slark is on my ass. I'm like, oh god, I have no teleport scroll. That's the first thing I noticed. Is like, okay, what the hell am I going to do? So I'm going to basically juke around for a bit, hiding, quote unquote hiding. I know the creep wave is coming, and Slark is also looking for me. He doesn't see me, I don't see him, and now I'm like, man, great juke, guys, great juke. I literally just circle around, stood in the enemy's lane out of vision for a tiny bit and just ran away. So that was a very eventful trip for me, fortuitous trip for me. Got myself a double kill, and now my gank party is also here. Now the annoying thing about bolting Razor halfway through the game is that once he gets his uh-oh, here comes reactive armor. This splitter, so good, but living armor, look at him, helping him survive such a long time. And here comes Slark. Slark is actually one of the most annoying hero to deal with, because sure, I could bolt to reveal him. Unfortunately, I get zipped back. I know I'm gonna be dead for sure, so I'm gonna basically fight my way out of here, or at least try to do so. But Hunt comes in. I'm gonna try to run back and forth, try to bolt as much as possible. Unfortunately, we are a little bit over our head, a little bit too much. Crystal Maiden and I also both dropped. We're 9 minutes in. There's 26 kills in the game. I wish I could talk a little bit more about Zeus play, but unfortunately, there's just too many kills to cover. But let's quickly talk about my skill build here. If you play Zeus about 4 or 5 years ago, you would actually not level up the chain lightning thing. Your C, your first spell. You do actually level up right now because the damage output has been increased quite a bit, and also it will bounce on multiple target. Or it used to be that if you chain once and if you have a second chain bouncing out, it will not bounce on the same target because you already have one chain lightning out. Now it doesn't matter. Like your chain lightning will bounce no matter what. Oh, Wrath of Nature. Oh man, was helping Merlini get that 1 kill. Unfortunately, didn't get it. You actually do level up chain lightning now. It is a little bit hard in terms of your mana, but it really doesn't matter if you really just content on putting damage output. So another bolt in terms of bolt into chain lightning, getting us another kill. So I'm 4-3-3, which is, in my opinion, a pretty bad score. Having 3 death on Zeus early is not exactly where you want to be at, but this is a fairly aggressive game pretty early as well. There is a Slark. He has a living armor. I'm not too sure. He's gonna jump out in 1v5. Living armor is pretty nice, but we'll see how he plays it. He's invis up. His living armor, why is living armor lasting an hour? Alright, living armor just ran out. I think he's going. I think he did get a kill. Maybe he thought he was gonna survive. Yeah, and then he was actually gonna survive if the Echo Stomp didn't come out. So that was I'm actually very surprised that he was able to 1v5. That just shows you the power of Slug. Does he have a Shadow Blade or something? He doesn't. He had an Invis in his bottle? Whatever the case might be. If the Echo Stomp wasn't there, he was actually going to survive. But also, you would notice throughout the entire game that I would drop my Arcane Boots. These splitters are absolutely OP this game. I have to shout out to Angel in the Night. He's been hitting some absolutely beautiful splitters. But one thing I was pointing out is that generally you want to drop your Arcane Boots or even your Acceptor to drop to bottle up, to lower your total mana pool, so your bottle heals back more after you pick up the Arcane Boots. If you don't trust me on that, try it out in your own games. Drop your mana items and then bottle up, or drop your Acceptor and then Arcane Boots up. It actually heals a ton more mana, and especially on a very mana intensive hero like Zeus, it is very, very important to do so. So Slark is picking out people, nothing too much I could do about it. So I'm actually getting a ton of gold, and I'm not exactly sure what item I should go for. Bolt Lightning to make sure we get the kill, or KS, whatever you call it. See Tree's also dead. I see Spec. Oh my god, everybody's so low. 1 kill, 2 kill. It's so easy for Zeus to pick up kills, or help your allies to pick up kills, that it's not very, very surprising, or it's not unsurprising, another better way to put it, to see yourself having a ton of gold. So I was thinking to myself, what item should I pick up here? I was thinking of a Ghost Scepter because I know Slark as well as Razor as well as Spectre is going to do a ton of damage to me. And it's a very, very survivable item. And then I decided against it. I'm saying, you know what? I only have 3 death right now. Sure, they can kill me, but they're not going to kill me anytime soon. Because Razor at this point is not that tanky. Slark could dive in, but he's really the only person that I should be afraid of. And then Spectre, yeah, sure, he could hunt and maybe focus me, but I'll kill him before he kills me. So I was like, you know what, let's go for some big damage item. I gone for the Veil of Discord. Obviously it helps me, it helps Leshrac, it helps Crystal Maiden. To a certain extent, it helps TC. It goes very well with TC's natural order as well. I'm saying, hey, let's go for some big damage item and then worry about survivability later. And honestly, in retrospect, I thought this was the very correct item choice as well. I do end up going for a Ghost Scepter second, and then I'll talk about my item choice a little bit later on. Also, a little bit more about the skill build. You do actually take more points into your static field generally, not Crystal Maiden, Zeus is a fairly stat-dependent hero, in the sense that he's very squishy, he needs all the mana he could get, but at the same time, your static field gives you so much damage. Like, the damage output, what is actually 11%, Jesus, that's a lot, 11% on every single cast, given that you're an AoE, and you cast so much as a Zeus in a team fight. You're not just bolting, you're basically using Arc Lightning whenever it comes off cooldown, and that's like a 2-second cooldown spell. You do so much more damage, really, so much more damage with your max static field. So I'm playing absolute glass cannon with things like Veil of Discord and maxing static field and whatnot.
Guess what's happening?
So this is a beginning of a phase where we are trying to push down the tier 1 tower, and we literally stay here for like 8 minutes. Like 8-9 minutes trying to push. Every time we push across, Razor will come out with his lightning thing, static remnant, or not static remnant. What the hell is that Razor nuke called? Let's quickly check it out. Plasma field. We mold down the creep wave. We'll try to dive against this. So where's my Veil? Bolt, Wrath, easy kills. It is so high in terms of damage output. Unfortunately, this guy comes out of nowhere, and I know I'm gonna die, so I walk back in to get an extra kill. Snafu's gonna get picked off as well. I buy back, immediately come back in. I notice that team fight's still going on. A bolt, arc, that's a triple kill for the team. Damn, buyback Zeus is pretty OP because they don't expect you to come back and do so much damage, but as a Zeus, you really can do that much damage output. I think I had a really bad buyback later on in the game as well, but I'll call that one out as I see it. But I'm basically taking a ton of kills, and it's so important for us to get kills simply because, well, you need to shut down Spectre, you need to shut down Razor, but more importantly, our only ways to actually push down towers is to get kills, right? We don't have any summons, we don't have a Spirit Bearer, we do have a Leshrac, but a Leshrac can only really push if you get kills. So these kills are hopefully translating into towers. Unfortunately, we haven't got really any towers. We got one tier 1 tower on the bot lane. I think after we team wiped them or something like that. But since then, we haven't really got too many tower kills. Meanwhile, they have got one as well, but the Radiant team is a lot more late game than we are. They could also protect their tower a lot better because they have living armor and whatnot. So, yeah, this is going to be the beginning of a endless mid lane phase, and we'll see how we actually break that. So generally, when you, I'm sure you guys had a moment in time where you have had a similar game like this, where you park 4 people mid, and then they park 4 people mid, and you have a standoff, right? Every creep wave gets nuked down, and nobody actually pushed down a tower. What you should be doing as a result is you should be split pushing. Like exactly what Slark as well as Razor's been doing, like, or not Razor, Slark and Spectre's been doing, because you only need 1 or 2 heroes to defend on the mid lane because you have all your nukes, particularly because you have living armor and now Glyph. You can see that they're actually gaining HP through the living armor, and we can actually break down those charges. So they're defending our 4-man push with 2 men, and they're farming all over the map as a result. Where's my Wrath? Where's my Wrath? Wrath will not damage through when they're invis. It will reveal them, but that's it. So that's why I didn't use Wrath, because I know he has Shadow Dance. But because they're defending a lot better than we are, and we're trying so hard to push, they're actually gaining gold, and we are not. So what we should be doing also is that once we recognize that they're defending so hard, is that we should also be split pushing. Merlini's already doing that, Showstopper is doing that as well. But here's the issue. Crystal Maiden, Zeus, and to a certain extent Leshrac, well, Leshrac is a different story, but Crystal Maiden and Zeus are not exactly good split pushers. We don't clear creeps that quickly, we're very slow, so if anybody comes and kill us, we really just will die. So we're not actually that good at split pushing. Unlike a Spectre, for example, if you gank a Spectre, she'll just send a dagger into the trees and run away. If you gank a what's it called, Slark, he'll just leap away or shadow dance away. So they're actually very, very good at split pushing, and they can't split push. Unfortunately, we can't. So that's why we're just trying to bang our head against this brick wall that is known as a mid lane. And repeatedly, this is like the 4th or 5th time that we're trying to come up the hill. We really need somebody to initiate for us. Crystal Maiden's trying his best to get a bite off, but we can't. So we're just like trying to break down this tower. This tower has actually been gaining HP because of living armor. So yeah, I really don't know what we could have done. Again, we should have been split pushing, but again, we don't have really good split pushing heroes either. So we just have no choice to bang our head into the wall. We're not really farming that well. And if I look at the gold chart right now, it should be going Oh, I'm very surprised that it's actually going downwards. It should actually be going upwards in the favor of the Radiant team because they're split pushing better, they're farming better. I'm not sure why that we're actually farming better, so that's a big surprise to me. So I guess Merlini as well as Showstopper on the other side lane has been providing a ton of distraction in terms of Mexican standoff of it. I asked Merlini to cut down those trees because I know that a tree protector might be lurking nearby, so it's very important for you to have vision. You don't want a Slark to be pouncing out of nowhere. You don't want a tree protector to be coming out of nowhere and then overgrowthing all of us. So yeah, again, living armor doing a ton of work. We do actually bring it down to half HP, but bringing it down to half HP means absolutely nothing because as long as you don't kill it, there is a possibility of the tree and healing it back to full. So this is a fairly interesting game state. It's very, very boring in fact, but interesting. Oh my god, he walked all the way in, which I want to actually go back in time and see this. Did he have Invisary? Yeah, he had a Shadow Blade. And he just walked in and I just got killed. I do have buyback. No, I don't have buyback. Buyback cooldown on a couple of seconds. So now it's a 4v5 team fight without the biggest damage dealing hero on the team, which is me by far. But huge ultimate from Showstopper is going to get one kill. Here comes Razor though. Razor's going to get one, focusing on Merlini. Merlini trying to hook out. He's also dead. So basically a team wipe. Very, very poor positioning by me on one end because, well, I shouldn't be on the front line. I did not expect a Shadow Blade Slark. More importantly, we don't have Sentry Ward down. So a combination of all three mistakes made us lose a big team fight. Losing one big team fight in the mid lane, not exactly too big of a deal, but what it does mean, if you look at the freaking mid tower, I'm pretty sure as well, I'm not looking at it right now. Yeah, it's being healed back up. He's being a douchebag and using living armor on the tower every time. So that one big team fight was a huge defeat for us. I did have buyback gold. Unfortunately, I don't have buyback cooldown because it is 6 minutes, and I bought back previously in that team fight. So losing that one big team fight means that the push is a lot more slowly to come. I noticed that there was a Sentry Ward on the mid lane, and if you guys don't know, Lightning Bolt does reveal invisible units nearby, wards as well as heroes. So I bolted some creeps, and then went for the Sentry Ward kill. We also know that there is a further ward up. And we will be dewarding it very soon. Merlini's going Mammo up. Raph is not going to get the kill, so I'm not going to be using it. I do have Veil though. Where's my Veil? Sentry Ward gets dropped down. Veil, Bolt, Raph. It is instant. It is instant kills. That's why I love Veil of the score on Zeus. It's basically like going Ethereal Blade Dagon, but on a hero that already have a Dagon build in, basically. A 7-second cooldown Dagon. Crystal Maiden is going Mammo in. I'm not sure why. She's gonna be dead. She's gonna try to walk forward, but there's a glimpse back. There's a Tree and Protector buyback. That's the second time he's buying back. He's literally buying back to freaking. Oh, there's a clan coming in. They're using a lot to actually defend this mid-tier 1 tower, but we finally do bring it down. Here it comes in, but I think he's in the wrong neighborhood. Veil, Bolt, a couple more hits. He did. So I'm not sure. Razor calls GG because Trien actually bought back to use that heal. Unfortunately, he didn't get the kill there. Or didn't protect that tier 1 tower. But yeah, I think the Radiant team is actually really underestimating the damage output on Zeus. And now I also have the Gold Scepter, so I'm basically unkillable. Well, I guess unkillable is not exactly a good way to describe it. They could still kill me, right? They could just wait out my Gold Scepter and still kill me. But the time that they have waited out my Gold Scepter, I have long since unleashed all my nukes that even if they kill me then, they're still preventing some decent damage, and I could use Arc Lightning multiple times. My static field is doing a ton of damage, and if they prevent a second Lightning Bolt, they're still preventing a ton of damage. But by the first Gold Scepter duration, I have used all my nukes, such that sure they could kill me after my Gold Scepter is done, but I have already done the big bulk of my damage. So Gold Scepter is a item that complements me very well in this game. Another choice in terms of survivability item in a game like for Zeus is Blink Dagger or Force Staff. I thought about Blink Dagger early on when I had the early 2k gold. It's actually very nice in terms of picking up lagging kills as well. If you see an ally or enemy running away, you could just like, hey man, blink up, bolt, kill. Did I bolt, Wrath? Nope, I saved my Wrath. I knew that he was not going to be walking away. So Blink Dagger is actually good, as well as Force Staff in terms of chasing down heroes. and getting some kills. But it's not good in this game because you have Spectre to cancel your blink, obviously, with her Haunt. Also, you have Tree and Living Armor. Like, if you don't get a kill instantly, they could be getting the kill back up. So it looks like we have a big team fight going up top. Showstopper is basically dead, and entire team is coming in right now. I need to get off a Veil. There's a Veil. Raph gets 1 kill, 2nd kill. Unfortunately, the first BKB is out. I see him low, but unfortunately he pounced back out. Also, Razor's dead, thanks to that the BKB running out and the Focus Fire jumping onto him. But if you see early BKB coming out against Zeus, you are in big trouble because you can't target them. The static field don't do anything against them. And your effectiveness as a hero is dependent on how much damage you do throughout the early portion of the fight. They haunt back in, they want that kill. I think they are gonna get that kill. But Veil comes on, Bolt, Arc Lightning, bam, another kill. So let me quickly check out what level I am comparatively. I'm level 15, Merlini is level 16. And there's a 17 Slark, but pretty much everybody else is falling a little bit behind on the enemy team. And that's the level you kind of want to see if you're playing against the Zeus, or playing with the Zeus. You want them to be a couple level behind you. You are very dependent on your spells as damage output. And the less level they have, the less HP they have. And the more levels you have, the more damage you do. Up to a certain point. Obviously, after level 16, it doesn't matter how many levels you have. So as soon as you hit level 16, that is basically your immense peak, and your effect in the game is going to be lower and lower as the game progresses. So the quicker that you reach level 16, and the lower that you could keep their levels down by denying farm, by killing them, that's what you want to be doing. So Merlini is going for some YOLO Dota right now. I do have Raph, but I'm not pretty sure what I could get the kill. Again, you generally want to try to drop your Veil. It has, bam, Veil, Bolt, Lightning Bolt, kill. I do have Gold Scepter, no, but I'm immediately gonna TP out. Don't glimpse me, don't glimpse me. I get glimpse, and I'm gonna die. You know, I have Gold Scepter. Am I gonna die still? I think I'm gonna die still. Yep, I'm gonna get picked off. So I buy back immediately, and this is a. Should I buy back it? I see a team fight going on, and then a buyback. But I completely forgot the fact that I already used my Wrath. I also have used a TP. Remember, I tried a TP out there? So I bought back, but I'm not actually doing a single thing. But my ally is actually doing a very good job cleaning up right now. So I will see most useless buyback. I mean, buyback, generally, I wouldn't say it's a big deal. But for me, in this game, I need to stay ahead in terms of gold. I also, the cooldown, the 6-minute cooldown is a huge deal in terms of making sure that you have, like in the middle of a big team fight, like a Zeus buying back is a huge deal. Unfortunately, the second buyback I just did now was absolutely crap. And, well, he's going to try to TP out. Veil, where's my bolt? I'm losing sight on the high ground, so I'll bolt some creeps, I guess. So, yeah, guys, don't do what I just did. That was a pretty bad buyback. So before that, I think I was asking my teammates, what item should I be going? Should I be going Axe Scepter? Because I'm doing a ton of damage output, right? I was like, Veil, Axe Scepter, and then into Refresh Orb, I could be some of the highest damaging int caster in the late game. But then I looked at the team composition. Like this game has a possibility of going fairly late with a Spectre, a Slark that could be going into a BKB, and a Razor that already has a BKB. Even if I could go into Veil, Axe, into Refresher, the BKB could make my life very miserable. So I don't think Axe Scepter is a item for this game. I think Axe Scepter is an okay item in Zeus in most other games, but it's just not a good one in this one. So this game, I'm going to be eventually going for a Scythe of Ice. And yeah, that's a very hard item to farm for, especially if you're Zeus. But at the same time, that's probably the most useful item that you could get for a Zeus in the ultra late game. BKB is another very good item of choice, because a lot of times they're like, oh, Zeus, let's actually just nuke him down quick because he's very, very squishy. BKB allows you to stand in the middle team fight, and if they want to waste a lot of physical right clicks on you, then by all means waste a lot of physical right clicks on you. It's a very similar situation I described previously, like a Ghost Scepter. They could kill you throughout your BKB, like very easily, I have to say. But they have to take so much time and so much resource into killing you that by the time that they have killed you, you have unleashed all your nukes. So all the damage that they have dealt on you is quote-unquote waste, because you have already nuked, you have already expended your damage output in that particular team fight. So BKB is a surprisingly great item on Zeus. I don't actually go for BKB this game, particularly because you have Root that go through it, you have a Link from the Razor that doesn't care if you have BKB, and most of the heroes on the Radiant side deals physical damage, so it doesn't really help me survive that much. Whereas Hex is an item that helps us kill Spectre a little bit later on. Once the BKB charges are going down to 4 seconds, it helps us to focus on heroes like Stark and whatnot. Hex is always a great late game item. It allows you to give yourself a little bit more utility. If you can't be, if you're not rich enough to farm Hex, for example, then I think something like a Eul Scepter is still very good. I personally find Eul Scepter one of the more underestimated item for int casters. It gives you 30 movement speed, which is not which should not be underestimated at all, because generally your int casters are fairly slow. Like Zeus, you can see that he's moving only at 355. If I have a Eul Scepter right now, I'll be moving at 385, and that's at a point where I could start outrunning some of the enemy heroes. Also, the mono regen is really welcome. The ability to stand yourself up in the air when they're focusing on you, or sending a big target up when they're escaping, for example. Eul Scepter is one of my favorite items as an int caster. I don't actually end up getting it this game because I'm fairly rich. But we find Razor. We're gonna do nothing but force out a BKB charge, which is fine. Like forcing out, what is that, an 8-second BKB charge? Let me quickly check out. Yeah, forcing out 8-second BKB charge in Razor. I mean, any BKB charge you force out for Zeus, that's absolutely a huge deal. Looks like you're gonna find 1 kill. But Merlini manning up. Where's my boat? There's 1 kill, there's a 2nd kill. Razor has gone for a Radiance first build. Drums into Radiance with no Vanguard against a Zeus, or no Casual Cloak against a Zeus, is almost suicidal. Yeah, you could get a kill against Crystal Maiden and Spectre, or against Leshrac very easily, but at the same time, I could kill her very easily as well. So my score's 14, 6, and 16. I'm doing a ton of deeps in this team fight, and I think throughout this game, I'm still wondering whether I should get Hex Scepter. Of course, in retrospect, I already know what item I would have been getting. Also, another item of choice is Force Staff. But Force Staff, despite it's a very, very good item in this game, you know, forcing your allies away from the Spectre, forcing your allies away from the Root, from the Slark, it doesn't give me enough kind of late game damage output. I mean, I'm taking so much kills. I'm taking 14 kills in a team, right? That's another thing I haven't been talking about. I'm taking so many kills in a team fight that I better get an item that helps us win the late game. If I don't put that 14 kills into a late game victory, you're just KSing. And remember what I said earlier about KSing? KSing is not exactly a bad thing. Just make sure that the items that you're using to KS is actually benefiting your team. I see Spectre. I know that she has no late game items. Veil into Bolt. Easy kill. I'm running away. Merlini is basically dead. He gets silenced. He's just focusing down by Razor. I know Raph is coming down very soon, but this guy is so damn tanky. Oh, I don't get trapped in. I pops it goes a little bit too early, but they're so damn low. This Leshrac is doing so much work right now. Also, this Leshrac, who started as a support but getting a ton of kills, is now going for some late game items. He's going to be going Ghost first into a BKB. We win another big team fight and we'll push down tower. Keep in mind that the only way that we could push down towers is by winning big team fights. We thought we could actually push down this tower right now because they have 3 people dead. But one thing that we have forgotten is that we don't really have that many good pushers. Still, we have good Leshrac. That's a good pusher. We have an AC on an Elder Titan. That's a good push as well. But here comes the Slark. Very easily, it's going to repel them. Pretty much all of us. Merlini is providing a ton of distraction right now on the back lines. I throw down the Veil, which unfortunately I could not bolt to follow up. And we just need to run right now because we know the Slark is running rampant. And uh-oh, we are in some big shit. Or big doo-doo right now. Where's the Slark? Slark is like in front of us. Where is he right now? Is he going for the showstopper kill? I don't think he can get TC. TC's mad tank right now. He's coming out on. Uh-oh. Just scouting things out. Okay. So I'm sitting at 4,200. I still have not decided whether I should go for a. Wow, he's really going for the kill. Yeah, he's going for it. He invis up. That's why I can't bolt him. I know he's not gonna kill me because I have, I have Ghost Scepter. I have backup. Oh, is he gonna kill me? He could actually come around. My Ghost is down. I get glimpsed back. I actually die here. 4,200 gold. Do I buy back here? No, I don't. Still probably on cooldown. So that's Slark. With a Shadow Blade and Shadow Dance build, actually doing a ton of work. Do I buy back and Raft this? I do think I buy back and Raft this if he gets low enough. No, he doesn't. It's not yet. Merlini's still fairly tanky. He's coming up. All that blade mail's coming up. I say he's low. He's low. He's low. Merlini eventually is gonna go down. I know Spectre is still very low. I'm thinking, should I buy back? I think it's worth the buyback to get a kill on Spectre. In retrospect, I just dropped down from 4,200 down to 3,000. I'm not sure whether that's ultimately worth it. I guess it helped our team to get a second kill, so maybe it's worth it. Maybe a third kill now because I come in, I see tree low. Look at how much damage Veil, Freezing Field, into Bolt. I all chat worth like the complete well-mannered guy I am, and then that's gonna elicit some trash talk. I think Blue has a vendetta against me. Yeah, Blue has a vendetta against me for whatever reason. I never liked your voice anyways. But it's all good. It's all good. People are just gonna have hater. I don't mind haters. In fact, I love haters. I feel like this has nothing to do with this game. It's just my personal outlook at haters. But I feel that if you have haters, that means you are like if you're popular enough to have haters, which I'm not saying I'm popular by any means, but that's how I see it. But if you're popular enough to have haters, then you're doing something right. If they take the time to hate on you, then you're doing something correct. That's at least how I personally see things. But any case, I think the buyback was worth it to get ourselves a couple kills. Unfortunately, Showstopper is getting focused on double BKB up now. One on Slark, one on Razor, and you can see I'm actually doing nothing in these team fights. You lost two of our most damaging heroes in team fights. Nafu gonna get go back. I see them clumping. Bo, Raph, Merlini's Blameo actually doing a ton of work here against the rest of the team here. Bolt, Arc, yeah, double kill. Easy. Zeus still taking a ton of kills. Up to 5.4k. I still could go for the Acceptor. I still have not decided what item I should be going for. I was like, you know what? I think we're going into a fairly late game situation. We're forced out a buyback from Spectre as well. So I killed him earlier. I killed him again just now, and also a buyback. Evidently, I'm doing a very good job in terms of keeping him down. Also, there's an item worth considering is Ethereal Blade. It's not exactly the most... It's not an item that you should say, hey guys, minute 1, I see their team, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna go EB, Veil Discord, and just go bolt somebody down. I think it's an item that in a situation like this, where you're winning by... Where I'm doing so well, where I have so much gold, that it's an item, it's a build that suddenly becomes a build. If you're trying to farm it, if you're at parity against the enemy Spectre, for example, if she has a Vanguard, if she has a Heart, then suddenly that becomes a very bad build because you're spending like close to 8,000, 10,000 gold just to kill a Spectre, and you probably won't even kill her because she has a Vanguard Heart. But because they don't have a Vanguard Heart, EB in Veil is not really that bad of a build. I don't end up going for EB this game because they have 2 BKBs. Now, the BKBs are going to be really, really good against me right now. But after a while, those BKBs are going to go down to 4 seconds. And generally, because you have a Ghost Scepter, you are going to survive till the BKB ends. And you still could dump out your load. But I find the Hex is more immediately useful. And if you want to go for something like a Veil EB transition into late game, you get it much, much later once the BKB charges are low. So Snafu walks up the hill first, and she dies. Do we actually end up taking that fight? I don't know. You can't take a fight against a Razor BKB, so I say, uh-oh. I got the Ghost. I'm gonna pop the Ghost right now. Leshrack's doing all tons of deeps. Veil, it's gonna help Leshrack to get 1 kill. Uh-oh, I think I'm gonna end up dying here. No, I do have Hex. He dispels it immediately. Do I Wrath? I Wrath, but he actually went into Shadow Dance, so it only revealed him. It did not do any damage to him, and right now in the back line he's actually recovering a ton of HP. I see that Spectre's running away, or actually more likely Merlini running away. I did not actually look at my hero, and my hero right now is getting owned. I think I got Glimpse back, and then now Slark is on my ass. I do have Ghost Scepter coming a second time, trying to go for a kill, but my Ghost Scepter is going to be running out very soon. I'm trying to shoot left and right. Oh, I do actually dodge 1 pounce, but you actually are not going to run away. He popped the BKB, and it's a very smart thing that he actually did pop a BKB because I was going to Hex him. And then, well, I'll let the game speak for itself as I drink some water. Didn't mean to pop BKB. And I was flipping a table at this point because he didn't mean to pop a BKB, but that was ultimately the correct move on his part to pop a BKB charge. He had to kill me, because if he did pop a BKB, I would have texted him. I was pretty sure that he did not realize my Hex was cooling down and he would not Dark Pack as a result. I probably would have survived, So the misclick on a BKB actually allowed him to get a kill on me, which is somewhat annoying, but hey, that's how things go. And at this point here in the game, 39 minutes in, 50 to 41, we're not winning that much to say that we have a late game advantage to win against a Spectre, because it is still a Spectre. I am pretty confident that we're up by a ton of gold, so let's quickly check out. Yeah, we're up by close to 15,000 gold. And generally that means you should be winning a game. Absolutely certain, no questions asked. But this is a pub game, and we have heroes like Leshrac, Crystal Maiden, and Zeus, which is not exactly your best ultra late game scalers, and to a certain extent Timbersaw, because we're doing a fixed amount of damage. Well, maybe not Zeus, because he has static field, and static field always scales. But for everybody else, we're doing a static amount of damage, and the only reason that we're killing them so easily right now is because of things like Natural Order, static field, Veil Discord. But these kind of stuff will scale down eventually. So this is probably the worst thing I've done in this entire game. I think my team is doing Roshan. I think they're doing it just fine. I see Spectre up top just low, and it's like, oh, let me stop the push. But I completely forget what Spectre does in that moment. He could haunt into that team fight, and I'm not doing anything for the team aside from Wrath of Nature. And my team takes a 4v5 because I wasn't there, and I fail so hard, and we lose this huge team fight. And this team fight that we lost made this game so much more difficult. I'm like, oh guys, I'm here now. Well, I'll talk about the fact that I was late to team fight. Well, I actually bolt the Razor, but that's another big mistake I did, because when you bolt Razor, his static field applies to you and you get purged and you get slowed down. Merlini makes back out live. I do believe TC makes it out as well. He has Shadow Blade. He doesn't have a TP, but he's running so fast that he's fine. You might be asking, wait, you're Zeus, right? So even if you're not in the middle of a team fight, you're fine, because you have Thunder God's Wrath. Thunder God's Wrath at this point is actually not my most damaging source of spells. In fact, it's not even my Lightning Bolt. My most damaging source of team fight damage is actually my static, as well as Arc Lightning, because they hit so many targets and they're so low in cooldown that Bolt as well as Thunder God's Wrath is like supplements at this point in terms of damaging output. So I wasn't there in that team fight because I was dirt mode. I was like, oh, let me defend against Spectre, but Spectre haunt in the team fight. I already TP, so I don't have it. I don't have a TP to join my allies. And then it's so obvious that when your allies are just doing a Roshan fight that you should be with your team. I wasn't there, and we lost one team fight. We lost 2 towers now, and then now our allies is taking yet another team fight. And Crystal Maiden is trying to man up here. Crystal Maiden doing so much work right now with that like 7-second cooldown freezing field. And again, I think I've been underestimating how much Natural Order has been doing in this entire game. So we notice that he's gonna try to, man, look at this. The damage output is absolutely insane. Spectre's gonna come in here. It's gonna get 1 kill, maybe gonna get a second. No, Showstopper is gonna survive. So yeah, the one mistake that I made. Look at the gold chart. It went up by like, I want to say 3,000-4,000 in that one mistake I made. So it's somewhat scary to think about that. If you're playing this kind of intelligent nuker, it is so easy to throw the game, like I just did right there. And it doesn't even feel like a throw. You're like, oh, late game nuker, I just died in a middle team fight. That's very normal, right? It's okay. Again, I think this is the 3rd time I said it in this game. It's okay to actually die as an intelligence nuker in the middle of a team fight, as long as you have dropped all your nukes. So that's why Ghost Scepter and BKB are great items. They don't ultimately help you survive, but the thing is they help you survive long enough to drop all your damage, and that's the big thing. So, and versus what I did in that team fight is where I didn't even survive long enough to drop anything. So that's the big mistake there. Veil, Bolt, you can say I'm not really doing that much, and then I realized, hey, Leshrax is coming here doing all these splitters. I gotta shout out Angels in the Night, man. He is doing so much great splitter in this game, and TC is doing the absolute correct thing as Merlini provide all the distraction. He is focusing on the racks. I scythe up 2-man splitter on Angel, popping that Post Nova, another kill on the Razor, and I do believe this is where we win the game, or this is where we just put our foot down, the nail on the coffin, whatever you say it, taking 1 racks. If you take 1 racks as a team that doesn't push well, the second and the third racks gets so much easier to take down. I also have 1600 gold. Did I buy something already? Do I have anything on the curry? Oh, we'll see in a bit. Merlini. Got a deny on himself. Oh, Cypher, Bolt. I messed up on that. I veiled. I built first and then veiled. I was like, okay, that's a mistake. You want to veil first and then bolt, because it does give you an extra bit of damage. So, a couple of things to take home from this game. First of all, I'm not sure whether you guys would agree, but this is something of a personal outlook, but it's okay to KS. It's actually fine to KS, but think about who you're KSing from, as well as think about your item choices when you're KSing. Again, it's okay to KS, but when you're KSing as a Zeus and you're building things like Dagon, or when you're building things like Accept a Refresher against multiple BKBs, you're not using those KS gold to the best of effects. And you're basically taking away gold from your carry and then not winning the game. Ultimately, you want to win a game, right? KSing is fine as long as it wins the game. Now, again, I might be sending the wrong message to some people out there that just play Zeus and KS all day. Just do it very, very carefully. Secondly, it's okay to die as the intelligent nukers in the middle of a team fight, as long as you dump out all your nukes. Notice the team fight where I made a wrong TP, and I joined a team fight way too late, and then I die, not even providing too much damage to the team fight. That was a meaningless death. Versus all the other death I did in the middle of team fight, where I ideally has dumped out most of my nukes. Then you have completely done your job, right? In fact, after you dump out all your nukes, and then they focus you, you say, yes, hell yeah, because you have already done your job, and then they're focusing damage onto you, as opposed to focusing on damage onto, let's say, TC, for example, or Elder Titan. Siphon him up, Veil, he's running away a little bit too quickly, but Tree has also used his, what do you even call it? Uses Overgrowth. The third point I want to take away in this game is treat your buybacks as a part of your damage output. Because with the heroes that has such low cooldown, as Zeus, their damage output is so high that if you have buyback and you use buyback very smartly, that your damage output significantly almost doubles, I want to say. Because the second round after you buyback, they have a lot less nukes to use on you with. So the second buyback, or the second time you're alive, your buyback life is going to do a lot more damage. Lastly, the thing I wanted you to take away from Zeus, as a late game nuker, your damage output isn't really mostly relevant from things like Wrath of Nature as well as Thunderbolt. Those spells are actually very useful in terms of helping your team focus. Because when you use a bolt on the middle of a team fight, it's a big animation, it focuses down, it gives you so much vision around that particular hero, it allows the rest of your team to collapse and focus. But really your true damage output in the ultra late game Zeus, like we're playing right now, is really your static field. It's really your chain lightning. You should be casting those as much as possible. They do so much damage in a team fight when your static field is proccing. So I noticed that big team fight is breaking out here. Use Thunder God's Wrath to secure a kill. Pint comes in right now. I'm still holding on to my Veil because I don't know where that. Well, and now I know where they are, where the real run is. Veil, Bolt, focus. Where's my Arc Lightning? Arc Lightning a little bit slow. There's a Hex. Those Hexes should be coming out in the middle of team fight as well, but these team fights are allowing us to basically win the game. But yeah. So I feel that Zeus, despite being a fairly easy hero in nature, because it's like, oh, just, you know, nukes. There's a lot of careful things you have to be thinking about in terms of playing this. Also, Merlini has been playing rather well this game. I think Blaymail is an item that really wants this game. In the mid-game team fight, he's just standing in the middle and then using Blaymail to basically, against certain heroes like Razor, who has to focus you no matter what, or against Spectre, who just deals out a ton of AoE damage, Blaymail is probably one of the best item choices that he could have picked up. So, yeah. So I think we're gonna have one or two more team fights. Yeah. So I think Butcher Travel on Zeus in the ultra late game, especially when you have constantly buyback goal. It's probably one of the best items you could pick up. And just to reiterate that point, your second life of Zeus probably does more damage than your first life because they have already used a ton of their nukes on you. So ideally they won't be focusing you a second time. And again, this late game damage output is not really from Thunderbolts as well as Thunder God's Wrath. It's mostly from Chain Lightning as well as your static field. So your second life you'll be using a ton of those nukes more than your first, because you ideally have already used Thunder God's Wrath on your first life round. So I think I actually get focused and killed very quickly here. I walked a little bit ahead of my teammate. I don't think they would actually seek a 5-0 aggressively outside, but in fact they would. But focusing my right now, Han's gonna come in as well. I get silenced, I get focused, I'm running. I get zipped back in and I die, but I buy back immediately. I'll be teleporting on the back lines and then coming right back in, guys. Veil, Bolt, Wrath. I actually do think I died a second time here, but I've done so much work already. Hopefully my allies could clean up. Oh, Angels in the Night, those Spitter trying to do some work. I need to bolt him down. My goal, 1 second cooldown. But I think even if I bolted him, I would die to Dispersion. So I died twice in a row. Merlini also buyback, and you bet Merlini has a Butcher's Rival himself. So the rest of their allies are just on cleanup. So this game, I think everybody on the team play well, particularly Leshrac. His Spliffs, his Pulse Nova, in conjunction with my Veil of Discord, has done a ton of damage. Crystal Maiden's Freezing Field, in conjunction with Veil of Discord, do a lot of damage. And Merlini's Playmail, as well as the fact that he's also constantly in the middle of teamfight, also did a ton of work. And things like Natural Order cannot be underestimated. The 33% base resist reduction in conjunction with Veil of Discord. Notice how I say it, I just want to take credit for how good the Veil of Discord item purchase is. I don't want to say it won us the game, but it definitely allowed us to do a ton of damage output in these team fights. Yeah. AC plus Natural Order is absolutely no joke in terms of damage output as well. So despite of them having normally very tanky heroes like Spectre, Razor, Treant, Living Armor, and to a certain point, Slark, it just feels like in this entire game they're just melting. So I think at a certain point Blue was saying, man, Timbersaw OP, and yes, Merlini's playing very well, but a lot of it, in my opinion, is also all these like reductions we have in things like Natural Order, the pair damage output from Merlini, Veil of Discord, Static Field. All these percentage-based things are helping us to do so much more damage in these team fights. So, of course, how could you complete a game without a little bit of fountain diving? So we're gonna fountain dive a little bit. You can see that even my late game damage output is a lot significantly weaker now, even though I have so many more items. So, alright, hope you guys enjoyed this Let's Play on Zeus. I feel like, again, Zeus, very simple hero in nature. Like, you just, you know, hey, Bolt, Wrath, get some KS, but I feel he, at the same time, he's also a fairly deep hero. By the way, this item, look, it's so, I think it's so cool. It says "yo," which actually means alcohol in Chinese. I think that's actually one of the cooler, I guess, wine jug you have on Panda. In any case, hope you guys enjoyed this Let's Play on Zeus, and until next time, this is Luminous, signing off to you guys.